right, what's up, worldwide family? Welcome back. You made it through Thanksgiving. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. I know mine was pretty decent. I got to see some family. That's important. I know not everybody gets that opportunity. It definitely was a privilege. Like I said, you did make it through it. So that is the positive side to this reseller's philosophy. Holidays can be challenging, and they can be great. So I think that it is what you make of it, despite outside circumstances. So I did get to see both sides of my family. I did do some driving to achieve that, but overall that's all right. I did get several things onto the store last night. More things went into the store than are going out, which is a good thing because there's a considerable amount going out too. So I was up not extremely late, but I was up late putting packages together. So I cannot complain about that. Everything is as it should be. Now, that being said, it would also be nice for this thing to double, and one day, sometime in the future, the near future, I will be able to say that it has. So, no, steadily moving along, steadily heading in the right direction. I have managed to pick up some things in the last few weeks that ultimately will be profitable. No major winners here lately, but that's okay too. A whole bunch of smalls equal up to something big, man. Let me see, where are we at? Like I said, sales are doing good, incoming's decent. Not a lot, in all honesty, on clearance at the moment. You know, I walk onto the clearance aisles now, and quite often there's 6, 7, 8 people, sometimes more, that are shopping it. So everybody's looking for a deal right now, which makes it extremely difficult to find one on the clearance aisles. Now, I have worked my way into the regular aisles and come across some things that aren't necessarily marked, but things that clearance out on a regular basis because they believe in turns just like I do. So they can take their turn, then I'll take my turn. Anyways, it's basically true though. So, but yeah, it has allowed me to spend more time listing, which is still a deficiency of mine, as you can see. And I say it's a deficiency. I'm ready for this to go away, but this was intentional. You know, for y'all that have followed me through the 3 vacations I took to process merchandise, I had just about eliminated this truck and filled it back up 3 times in the last 6 or 8 weeks. This is going a little slower since I'm not on vacation. I am coming up to a mini vacation, that what was left of my vacation time with my work. So we'll be taking that here pretty soon. I think a day or two, and I'm heading on vacation again. So it's I'm not going anywhere particular. I call it a workation, but it is important. That way I can keep doing what I do on my off time. There's been absolutely no movement on the Google Merchant account as anticipated, despite what the guy said. Will have to reevaluate his abilities here in a few days, 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. I think 4 now, 3 or 4. When I am eligible for another review through Google Merchant. Let's see, what day was that? I think that was Tuesday. Today's Friday, Black Friday. Not that that means anything to us, right, guys? I did wake up to one sale. Actually, I accepted an offer on one. It had been sitting in inventory for quite some time. I don't know the exact, but it's not a heavy seller. And I doubled my money, so I can't be mad at that. And I was probably shooting the moon for it, although the brand should bring more. I do believe the saturation on it is high on the gray market, so to speak. and gray, secondary, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what, I think I've heard both terms referred to when it comes to us. So, at any rate, saturation is low. It's kind of like new Star Wars stuff. I personally don't buy because there's so much of it there. It's got a huge following. There's so much merchandise that the supply and demand offset to where it's, to me, my experience, worthless. So buyer, reseller, beware on those. And that has to do with a lot of things. You got to check the saturation, the comps on it, as opposed to how many people are selling it. However, when things clearance out, it can go from 12 sellers to 250 overnight. So not when dealing with new stuff, historicals are not necessarily an indication of future profitability, at least on the short-term range. There is still inherent value, but either way, I digress. Y'all probably don't want to lessen the macroeconomics that I've come to understand. And hey, if you do, let me know. Maybe we can talk more about it. But so no movement on the website. The story coming out is going good. There has been something that's been weighing on my mind as of recently. I am, during this mini workation, going to have some people come over and give me bids in order to put approximately a 25 by 30, 20 by 30 metal building, concrete foundation down on my property. Preferably 12 to 16 foot through the whole thing. So that's a tall metal building. Don't know if that's possible yet on the height, but I do want the height. And it should be. It really should be. But either way, so that's happening. And I'm here at the drop, so let me drop off my packages, but there's more to that. So, the outdoor warehouse, right? I've been speaking about it for a while. Like I said, 25 by 30, hopefully 2-story, roughly give me 12 to 1,400 square foot in a vertical manner, which is not the easiest, but I want to put like a big box store racking in there, not like Walmart, but think more like, whoops, I'm on a curb. Well, fill in the blank. Big metal box stores. I want to be careful with the names that I throw out there. At any rate, very similar to some of those that you may have seen, in order to go vertical with things, which would allow me the most impact per cubic foot that I could handle on a certain, on my property, right? My property is fairly small. I have room for a 30 by 100, and that would still leave me a yard. And so I wanted to do a 30 by 20, 30 by 25 as the first phase of that, right? And it has occurred to me while mulling that over, and that is still a real possibility. That's financially feasible. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000. Like I said, financially feasible, and that's the direction that I very well may be headed, because that's the price point. Really, that's about my top out number that I feel comfortable with devoting to Jamestown at the moment. But if I do that, then the appreciation of my property for that may rise a little bit due to sellability. Like, hey, there's this, X dollar amount, let's just call it, and I don't think it is, and I'll perfectly honest, not to inflate the numbers, where my values in Texas are down. I live a very conservative lifestyle in a very modest home, so let's say 200,000 roughly, So this $200,000 home has this, 600 square foot, 700 square foot shed, 2-story. So it's worth 205 or 210. I run the top side of my $200,000 house market, right? I mean, if you follow me, it's not like it increases dollar for dollar where I'm at on my property. If I invest 40 in, I might get a solid 10 back out of it. Now, there is value in having the space, right? So I can make more money. I mean, that's the draw. That's the look. But, whenever you take 30,000, despite whether or not you're able to profit out of it or not, if you take 30,000, you're basically out the window. It's not good, And like I say, I would get the use out of it. I would get the profitability out of it. My business as it sits that generates a decent side income. I do it in a 150 to 200 square foot living room, and I'm guesstimating it may be more than that, but 150 to 200 square foot living room. So if I had 600 times 2 or 700 times 2, 2-story, that I could bring in considerably more money. It's already doing quite well, and I don't want to go over all the numbers, but here is the point behind all of that. I put in 40, I might get 10 out. It may make a more solid sale if I ever sell. Not that I'm looking at it, but I have to look at it from all angles. But here is the flip side of that. If I'm able to buy another house that maybe is worth 100 or 150, right? Then I'm stretching the business to pay for it in the slow times. I really am. To be able to devote, say, $1,500 a month to this thing on a regular basis is a lot to do during the slow parts of the year. And I don't care about making profit for me per se. I want the business to grow and everything else. But if I were able to find a 1,200 to 1,500 square foot house where I didn't have to pay much more than $1,000 a month, then that thing would appreciate at anywhere from a 5 to 20% annual value. 5 to 20%. So even if, worst case scenario, I hold on to it for, say, 3 years, if I know I have enough capital to hang on to it for 3 years and then sell it, even if that is the goal, well, as markets are increasing right now, let's call it 15%, although my house is moving up far faster than that. With the market uncertainties, I get it. So let's call it 15% at the moment, because I do think this instability that we're in is temporary. Oh, shoot, I forgot I don't have time for it. Maybe I do, at Target. I got to buy something for work. We're having a potluck. But anyways, long story short, if I can hold on to it for 3 years, 100 at a 15% gain, that's $45,000. Even if it takes me $10,000 in closing to do the deal, another $10,000 on the way out, just say, then that's 125. So 100 going in, 125 going out, $1,000 a month in mortgage, 3 years, 36. 36,000. So I'm at a $12,000 deficit for 3 years. Giving me a monthly payout rent, basically, on a 3-year plan of about $400 a month. So for less than I am considering paying monthly on a shed, I could buy a house and just pay it out. Now, if I were to do 4 years or 5 years, then that changes, where there's actual positive equity over and above the amount it takes to do the deal and undo the deal. And then most of the time you only catch that on one side or the other, not necessarily both sides. So from what my understanding is, so actually those figures may be a little richer than I give them credit to be. So that could be potentially the way I'm headed, and I do have to consider both my options on that. Boy, Target looks busy. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Yeah, there's no way I can get in and out in 15 minutes. There's just not. Yeah. Okay. Maybe they'll take a cash donation. It's a potluck. You're supposed to bring something. I didn't bring anything. I could, I guess, order pizza. Could do that. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, like it might be possible. Now, the reality of this market is finding a house for 100 or 150,000 is not easy. It's not one that's worth anything. You know, if they have leaks and foundation issues and yada yada. So it would have to be the right deal. But that doesn't mean it's not out there. The house I got now, we've done quite well. I mean, we got a decent deal, and a real decent deal. We got it undervalued because the seller was motivated, and if I could work my way into a similar situation, then it might be feasible just to do that. So those are my thoughts for the day. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, coming to see me. Y'all say something in the comment section. Y'all be friendly, be sociable. If anybody knows anything about that giveaway thing, go ahead and do that. If not, check out the end of 2 videos back. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, I got time. I am doing a giveaway for a $20 gift card to JamestownTrading.com, which you can use the coupon code YouTube for 10% off as well. So it's like a double dip, right? For anything on the site, there's quite a bit in that price point where you wouldn't have to spend any of your own money. And all you have to do for that is subscribe and comment the word giveaway. There's going to be a drawing of 5 people because this is a very small channel. I'd like to see it grow, and I have 2 already. I need 3 more. So where's my 3rd? All right, that's it. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.